promotion of exports has been a priority for the government of Kazakhstan. I'm joined today by Aibek Sagynayev, Head of Project Development Department at Qaztrade Center of Trade Policy Development. Thank you for joining us today, Aibek.
Yeah, thank you for having me today.
If you could tell us what is the essence of Qaztrade Accelerator Program and what are some of the achievements so far?
Okay, so as you know, working for international markets has its specifications, and while we are being positioned in the center of Eurasia and with a comparatively small population, we are just have to export our products in order to, support our economy in general. In this regard, the program Qaztrade Accelerator is one of the key initiatives. Actually, it was ordered by the head of the state during his annual message, and he highlighted the importance of export opportunities for small and medium enterprises. And starting from 2020, actually the first export acceleration program was run, and 35 companies was selected by the competitive requirements, and they were headed to the market of China. So we can say that the first cohort of the group of our entrepreneurs went to China under this program, and they had quite good results. To be precise, more than 160 different B2B meetings was held via different resources, including internet and Zoom sessions. Also, some companies had an opportunity to try the Chinese market for the first time. This as a Peromaiske Delicatesse, also the Kaz beef processing company. Some companies, they had an opportunity to get the right to be able to export to the China, because Chinese market is quite specific one, and for some products it's quite difficult to reach the market in the first place, and the companies such as DEP and the MOL products, they were registered in the list of potential companies that can go to the Chinese market. And the overall industry was chosen as a food industry because our country has quite large advantages in this area, and we just try to take this and lead them into the Chinese market. So these are the results of the last year. As for this year program boosted we've selected already 101 company for these companies for this program, and more importantly, the markets are expanded. It's not only a Chinese market now, but we are heading to the Russian market, to the markets of Central Asian countries such as Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and the market of the United Arab Emirates. And when we say about industries, on top of the food industry existing, we also added the machine building industry, light industry, chemical industry, and the service providers has an opportunity for the first time to try the export opportunities in the light of this program. So currently we are making different initiatives, and for making to them export strategy, so they get 360 support from us, because absolutely starting from the production, going to the strategies, looking at the financial statements. So it's all important when we are aiming to export something. So our professionals, our team helping to these entrepreneurs, to these companies to use their export opportunities and make that export possible.
And what should a company have to become part of this accelerator program?
Yeah, we did use different communication and marketing channels to first of all announce about this program, and we tried to explain the advantages of this program, because as I said, it's important to give the opportunity to a larger number of companies in Kazakhstan to be able to export, because we know there are some companies, quite huge companies and renowned companies, which are actively exporting, but our aim is to expand the number of exporters, and the main principles and the main requirements to be a producer of the product, because we know not all the companies are producers, and also the second requirement could be the quality of the product, because when we are talking about foreign markets, obviously your product should be competitive, and the overall commitment of the team is also important, because when we distribute different kind of surveys and questionnaires in order to understand the potential to export, it is also important to fill all the information in a correct way, so that we can help and we can define that areas where we can put our strengths on. So that was an important line.
So besides this accelerator program, what are some other measures that could help our local producers to have their products and services reach foreign markets?
Yeah, actually what we are doing is trying to help in different ways. So the acceleration program was the first. Another program which is also very important, especially the last year when we had this lockdown period, when the e-market share quite actively increased in a global scale. So we launched the program of the gold supplier Alibaba. So our Kazakhstani producers can have an access to reach the get the gold supplier account, which allows them to go to the foreign markets. And when we say Alibaba market, it's not only about Chinese market, as many might think of, but it's rather going to different markets, including European markets, even American markets, Middle East. So our company successfully exported their products for the amount of more than 17 million US dollars, and across the program since the start, about 150 our Kazakhstani companies had an opportunity to get this access. So actually what they do is they have an access to this platform, electronic platform, and our company helps them to fill out the the page of this company, so how to position their products in this portal, and how to go to the clients, and all these aspects are included in this program. And for the time span of the 1 year, they had an free of charge, they can use this platform, and some companies can even consider this as an alternative way of realizing their products. Probably the most frequent inquiries from business come from the line of the reimbursement of their cost. So this instrument is quite a critical one, and this year we've already conducted 19 intergovernmental meetings, during which the budget sum of 4.5 billion tenge was allocated among business which have exported their products, and now they have an opportunity to reimburse some part of the costs. So how that works is the overall product lines are divided into different groups. So the products which are high value added products, deeply processed products, so they have an opportunity to get reimbursed by 80%. So it has degrees, 50% and 30%. And obviously in order to make that even, make that kind of acceptable to larger amount of companies, we made a limit to the one subject of the business in Kazakhstan, so they have a certain limit, 75,000 monthly index that they cannot exceed when they are getting this reimbursement of the costs. Another line of tools are going to the service support, because Qaztrade is an operator of the program initiatives of the Ministry of Trade and Integration. In this line, Qaztrade organizes trade and economic missions in foreign countries. So far, there were 9 trade missions. All of them were successful, and contracts were signed absolutely in all these trade missions. And
despite the pandemic, right?
Yeah, despite the pandemic, because trade missions mean not only just going to that market, seeing that market and having some meetings, right? But our team makes the job in advance. So we talk with our partners, we try to arrange effective B2B meetings in advance, so they can go there and immediately sign the contracts, and we pave the way for the effective communication of our business with the foreign partners. And the results are quite good. So more than 150 million US dollars contracts signed via the support of this service tool. Quite soon, in the beginning of the December, there is going to be another trade mission in Dubai. So as you know, there will be the day of Kazakhstan in the light of Expo Dubai. So we hope, we can get more contracts for our business in this trade as well. Apart from that, we have also two huge global scale events, which are the first Shanghai.
Just recently, right?
Shanghai Import Fair, so it's one of the largest one. We also presented our companies over there, and also the overall stand and positioning of Kazakhstani products in Expo Dubai 2020. By the way, I forgot to mention that our participants of the Qaztrade Accelerator program, they also have an opportunity to be a part of these events, to go to these fairs and specific fairs that they can go on.
So you said you paved the way for communication between our businesses and foreign partners, and maybe between our businesses and government agencies. So what are some of the challenges that our local producers are facing when exporting their products and services?
Yeah. In today's world, in today's volatile world, different countries set different requirements for foreign producers. So when we go to the foreign countries, they have special rules, and obviously these rules are not identical. So whenever you go to the European market, they have certain standards. Whenever you go to the Asian markets, they set technical regulations, they set the quality requirements, certification matters, and obviously for some companies going to the new market can be quite a challenge. In this way, we try to be a think tank for our export producers, because our team, we have a strong analytical team inside of us, so they can prepare the I can say it's a roadmap, right? So it's a roadmap of how to go to the certain market, so they can know what are the taxation in this country, what are the main rules, what are the technical regulation, what are the import basement of these countries, and compliance with that rules are in place. So we provide different analytic materials, and more importantly, we try to be very accessible for our business. So we have a Telegram channel that is called Export Gov. So any business, any kind of export producers, if they want to go to the certain markets, they can always send us a request, and we try to work it out in a very short period of time. Also, on top of that, every year we make different kind of digests, different kind of analytical papers when we describe different markets of the special conditions of reaching these markets. We try to make it in general, but when we have a request for specific product, we also make it specific for certain companies. So taking this opportunity, I will just welcome all the companies to come to us, to talk to us, because we are ready to help, and it's our job to help them and to reach new markets, because that is very important.
So like you have already mentioned, that food industry is one of the industries that Kazakhstan could capitalize on. If you could elaborate on what are some of the other industries that the country could use as an advantage.
Yeah, you know, we follow the global trade and the most strong position of the Kazakhstan in the food industry, because, you know, like almost all developed countries following the strategy of the carbon neutral and reducing emissions. So in this light, our products are acknowledged to be very high quality products in global competition. So we have to use this opportunity in order to increase the export of our products. For example, European Union endorsed the strategy of the farm to fork, when they try to decrease the amount of general products and increase the organic food share up to 25%. And in this regard, our products, our food producers, namely producers which has high added value, they have quite competitive advantage of going even to the distant markets. Apart from that, we have to say about other industries such as metallurgical industry, machine building industry, light industry, pharmaceutical industry, because the overall industrialization of the Kazakhstan that we are undergoing in, so it is giving the results as well, because the quite large manufacturing points of Kazakhstan, they are also exporters, and they are also going to the foreign markets.
We are still going through a very unprecedented year due to the pandemic. If you could tell us, how did it shape the way you support our exporters?
Yeah, it's a very good question, because it was challenging situation, and especially for the business. And we understood this immediately, and as I said, we created that Telegram channel. First of all, ExportGov, and this channel, it's not only kind of, you know, advertising channel, but rather it's a channel when we build a bridge between business and government agencies. So whatever questions business side has, for example, questions with the borders, questions with the new rules, questions with some subsidies, right? So companies go there, companies ask there, and we get this as our work, and we have to give them the answer, and the answer should be clear to them. So we try to make this communication channel first of all, and other point is our portal, export.gov.kz, which encompasses all available information about Kazakhstani export and different support measures and tools. So in other words, for example, if you want to get reimbursed, you can apply for the reimbursement via this tool. So if you want to take a participation in the programs of the Gold Supplier and Alibaba, you also go there and make it online. So we try to be accessible, be there with the business, and in the light of these difficulties, we also know that companies need analytical support. I also mentioned above, but when companies have quite target market, when they know how to make a business in these markets, and when the times come and they have to change the market, this is a challenge. And in this way, we try to help them, we try to make everything smooth. One initiative also which was very helpful in my opinion is the initiative between the Ministry of Trade and Integration and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that our embassies in foreign countries are also involved in export activities, because they are there in our target market, so they know better the situation in there. They also can have an access to the certain communities over there, business communities, and we try to use the opportunity of our embassies in order to expand our export and to find new clients, new customers for our export companies.
Yeah, so the work seems quite comprehensive and holistic. But one of the consequences of the outbreak of the pandemic has been the decrease in international trade, including the declining foreign trade of Kazakhstan itself. How would you evaluate the current situation in trade? And if you can make some forecasts when we can get back to pre-pandemic levels?
Yeah, so the year 2020 had a substantial decrease in export volumes, and we decreased by 90% in comparison with the year of 2019. But if you look at the current statistics, so 9 months of the export volumes of this year already showing $14 billion, which is more than up to 25% in comparison with the last year period. So we can say that we are getting back on track, and we have to accelerate and increase our export in order to reach our KPIs, which is to reach $41 billion in 2025. In this line, we can say that such industries like metallurgical industry, machine building, engineering industry, light industry, so they are taking back their positions, and they are improving in terms of this. Also, it's important to note that our trade balance is also improving, so our export is prevailing over import. So we are making our business overall globally.
So this year, Kazakh companies were approved to be selling at world's top e-commerce platforms, including Amazon, and like we have already discussed, the Alibaba International Platform. Could you tell us more about the work that you are doing to promote companies on international platforms like this?
Yeah, whenever we say e-commerce, it's not only Alibaba account, as we already made it. So we are looking for all opportunities, absolutely. So Amazon is one of them. So we have made the series of different seminars for our business when they take part, when they ask questions, when they know the specification of how that e-commerce platforms work, because it's overall global trend. And today, whenever we say e-commerce, it's not only about, one by one selling and retail selling only, but it's rather the sales of quite high volumes via these tools as well. So, for example, they had a contract signed for more than $71 million, and the target markets are interesting as well because, for example, we had an experience of exporting Kazakhstani products to the markets such as Oman, such as North Macedonia, to the Middle East. So these are not regular markets of the Kazakhstani products, and it's important to set our presence in these markets as well. More than that, we are looking some cooperation opportunities as well. For example, the Kaz Post and the Russian Post, they also have some future potential projects in this line, and we try to get in there as well. Also, by our team, there were prepared 9 different brand books of how different international marketplaces work. So it could be Japanese, it could be Korean, it could be American, it could be Southeast Asia. So we are trying to research and know how they work and how our business can get an access in order to be presented in these platforms. And again, like business are different, the preferences are different, and we try to fit everyone.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.